In 2000, one man had a dream. His name was Hiroyuki Maruyama. This is his story. A former employee of Taito, Hiroyuki set out to do what all Asians dream of, create his own shoot-'em-up, but the journey wouldn't be an easy one. Founding G-Rev in 2000 with 4 of his best bros from Taito, Maruyama would soon find out the cost of developing his own shooter was more than the initial investment. Time to start hooking again. To help raise funds, G-Rev assisted Treasure in developing their sequel to Radiant Silvergun, Ikaruga, an entry that set the bar for all modern shooters and redefined the genre. The relationship with Treasure and success of Ikaruga would not only boost the credibility of G-Rev as a developer and build anticipation for their own release, but also get some experience with the Naomi hardware before going waist deep on their own. Border Down was a go. In a 2006 documentary, Maruyama said all he wanted to do was make Border Down, and if G-Rev went tits up after, he'd still be happy. Fortunately, that didn't happen, and customer orders exceeded G-Rev and Sega's expectations. G-Rev would go on to work with Treasure again on Gradius 5 and release another shooter of their own on the Dreamcast with Under Defeat, showing off just how far the hardware could be pushed. Not bad for 5X Taito guys. Now let's get into the ass and titties. In Total Recall, they ask Arnold what he likes in a bitch. Athletic, brunette, and just like me, sleazy. That's what Border Down is to me. Like if G-Rev asked me personally what I look for in a shooter, this is what you get. It's not complete and not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. Not all Summit girls are, but everyone's got one and a story to tell. Here's mine. Developed and published in-house by G-Rev, Border Down is a single-player only side-scrolling shooter released in arcades April 25th, 2003, and ported to the Dreamcast September 25th the same year. The ease of porting to the Dreamcast from Naomi hardware, it made it the obvious choice for a home console release. Inspired by Metal Black, G. Darius, and the novel Red Mars, Border Down is loaded with amazing features and mechanics, even though a third of it was cut down due to hardware and budget limitations. From B-Battles to the border system, G-Rev's first shooter is aesthetically stunning and has the tits to match the ass, but why is it the best on the console? Let's start with the plot. I'll keep it simple. Hundreds of years after humans colonize Mars, aliens decide to show up and start fucking shit up for reasons. The players take control of the Wasp ship, controlled by a remote interface, to take the fight to said aliens across 5 stages with 3 borders, and each of the first 3 stages are simulations. Confused? Me too, keep it moving. The Wasp is very reminiscent of the Silverhawk from Darius. Yeah, no fucking shit, but looks sleek and fucking badass. Controls are tighter than a pair of shorts on a Hooters waitress with no tits, and movement's crisper than the Marlboro Red after fucking her in the Somerset Clarion. For weapons, you get a main shot that can be held for a focus fire and a homing shot by tapping it. Kill some things and power increases. Your second weapon is the biggest fucking laser ever equipped to a player's ship that cancels out any enemy fire and reflects bosses' lasers inspired by Metal Black. The beam battles are fucking spectacular too, better than watching your girl make out with your side and asking for a 3-way. If you die, you respawn at the checkpoint, but more of a round up or down system depending on where you get waxed at. Boss battles, however, are instant respawn with different game over screens depending on which stage you're on. For difficulty, there's 4 settings: easy, normal, hard, and maniac! Even in the hardest setting, it's not too bad, although it takes on a very bullet hell feel, looking like jerking off to a tribute pick in a spin art machine. It's easy to lose fire and collide with enemies and background objects for a cheap death, though. Alright, the border system. Inspired by G. Darius? Yeah, no fucking shit. You start by picking one of the borders, starting with green, die, drop to yellow, then red, game over. As the borders change, the levels and enemies alter slightly, showing just how in-depth the design team went to sell the mechanic. There are ways of moving around the borders between stages based off a norm score, but fuck that. Imagine asking the hottest chick out right away, getting rejected, game over, instead of playing it safe with the 5 or 7 you could have picked up from the start. Rank system? Yeah, it's there. Small enemies are well detailed and designed, mostly planes and shit that litter the screen from all angles and different types of attack, which fucking sucks to avoid. Don't get me fucking started on those sentry bastards on the elevator level too. Medium-sized enemies step up to size, girth, and detail with more elaborate fire, featuring small lasers and homing shots. They're actually easier to take care of than the smaller enemies because they're more stationary than those Salvation Army fuckers. One distracts, one takes the bucket, hello Coinstar. Okay, the boss fights. Fucking legendary. This is why you get up in the morning, eat the chicken, broccoli, and rice, take the penicillin shot in the ass to run through all the countless 610 hoes to arrive here. They take up a good portion of the screen, are incredibly detailed, and feature some of the craziest firepower this side of the Delaware. Again, those boss beam battles are worth the 3 bills to experience. Visually, the graphics aren't the best for the hardware, as the polygons are rough around the edges, but design is the true focus, as parallax scrolling effects really make the backgrounds pop with incredible explosions and a very vibrant color palette across the different borders. Think of watching porn before tablets and smartphones. You can see a lot of similarities with Gradius 5 and Ikaruga too, as enemies scrolling from the background. Yeah, no fucking shit. There's a tiny bit of slowdown on the boss explosions, otherwise perfect. With the border system giving 3 different variants of each level, design is off the charts with scrolling backgrounds, different color palettes, and objects to avoid and destroy. Level variety really shakes the baby across various playing fields, starting off over the city sky, going underground, into space through an asteroid field, and finishing off inside some motherships on the back half. What's even more breakneck is the OST. Composed by Yasuhisa Watanabe, who also did Metal Black, the score has a very modern aesthetic to match the game, but lacks the epic feel that Ikaruga has. That alone could have elevated Border Down to similar status. I mean, you lose your virginity in the back of a car to the Cranberries, not fucking Pearl Jam. Even though thoughts arrive like butterflies. Border Down defines being the perfect pick-up and play. Finish too fast and now your girl inside are still going at it? Pick up the Dreamcast. Replay value is like the honeymoon phase of being with your summit girl, but it never goes away. Just leads to sharing and to me, as I've already said, this is one of my all-time favorite games, let alone shooters, and a type of pussy that stays at the top of the speed dial, but like the playthrough, shouldn't be a conversation that lasts longer than 30 minutes to get that 1 CCS. Released to mixed reviews, Border Down had all the pieces to be at the top of the genre, as well as the Taito pedigree, but lacked the wow factor to take it to the next level. It's looked back on as one of the best late-era Dreamcast entries and known more for its rarity and price tag coming in around $300 for a complete copy. But does someone have to be perfect to be the best for someone? Well, not the be-all end-all shooter as DRF originally intended. The image and daddy issues lead to a killer fuck you wish you took more advantage of. Border Down, the perfect future ex-wife. Anyway guys, hope you liked the vid. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that fucking bell button for them notifications. Check out Food Bro on the Facebook, and submit tribute pics to GameBro@gmail.com. Thank you, keep it moving. Remember to cheat on your games, not your girls. I've been the Game Bro, and I am out.